See it on the news and you say that's never going to happen here, and then it happens here, and it just blows your mind.
The breaking news right now, 18 people killed, 13 injured in another mass shooting in America, this time in Lewiston, Maine. Police just giving an update about the shooting. Coming up, what we're learning about a shelter-in-place order and the search for the gunman. Topping local news concerning video posted online appears to show Baltimore County Police punching a 16-year-old. Coming up, we're going to hear from the boy's father and share how police are responding. And after weeks of debate, House Republicans finally elect a new speaker. Coming up, what newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson is calling his first order of business. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. We begin with the breaking news about the mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine. Police are giving an update right now. Let's listen in.
And they have determined what they're going to do with the schools. A lot of schools, area schools, were shut down today based on our conversation with them. Again, as more information comes in, we'll be providing it to you. Thank you for your time. This is a very difficult time for, I think, the community of Lewiston, difficult time for, obviously, the victims' families. And it's a tough time for law enforcement. It was a rough night last night, but we're committed to bringing whoever's responsible to justice. And, again, we are currently looking for Mr. Card right now, someone that we'd like to apprehend. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. And FBI Special Agent in Charge, Cohen, if you could join me, please.
Thank you. My name is Joey Cohen. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of FBI Boston Division, which covers the state of Maine. Our hearts go out to everyone who was impacted as a result of the senseless violence. The FBI is working hand in hand with our law enforcement partners. Our evidence response team is here processing these very extensive scenes. We are providing investigative and tactical support, as well as our victim specialists are working with those affected by this tragedy. As this very active investigations continues to unfold, we're asking the public to stay vigilant and come forward with any information that you might have that you feel is helpful to our investigators. My pledge is that the FBI will carry out this investigative case with rigor. We will work day and night alongside our law enforcement partners to get the answers to the questions this community deserves. We thank the public for your continued cooperation and patience as we continue to work this very active investigation. Thank you.
Appreciate that. And I would say that the reality here from a resource standpoint is that when we've asked for anything, the answer's been yes, period. Tactical teams, evidence response teams, full-blown investigative units, detective units that have come from multiple states, whether it's the commissioners from Vermont and New Hampshire reaching out to me directly, Massachusetts saying, what do you need, Mike? What can we do for the state of Maine? So we are now prepared to try to take a few questions. And keep in mind, again, that we may not be able to answer as in-depth as you would like, and we don't plan on taking a great deal of questions. I think follow-up press events will allow for that. Sir?
So no one has really talked about the weapon that was used here, the AR-15 style, so I hope someone can talk about that. But the other thing here is there are reports that this individual had mental health issues, that he made threats to shoot up the National Guard. So clearly there were some signs there that he was on someone's radar. The question becomes, why was he in possession of this weapon? And certainly, why wasn't he stopped sooner?
Yeah, I think those are all valid questions, and certainly questions that we are looking into now, but not questions that we can answer today. Considering that this occurred last night, there's still an active search for the suspect in question. So I appreciate those questions, but not something we're going to be able to answer right now.
But is it something that you're investigating and looking at?
It is certainly one of those things that we want to follow up on, all aspects of that.
Why does
Go ahead, right here. Yes.
Can you give us a sense of the ages of who has suspects died, how many are under 18 and how many are over 18?
I'm not sure we have that information with us today. We wanted to break it down by gender because that's something we had readily available. We did not break this down into age ranges at all.
Sir, what can you tell us? What can you tell us about the background of the suspect in this case, or I should say the person of interest, because I noticed the language is very clear. You're saying person of interest, not suspect. So why use that terminology, and what can you tell us about his background?
Yeah, I think we used person of interest last night for half of the room that was here for that press event. As the Colonel had mentioned, there is now arrest warrants for murder for this particular individual, Mr. Carr. So he is viewed as a suspect, and there is a full court press by all of our partners to bring him into custody. What was the second piece of that question?
What can you tell us about his background? Simone had asked a second ago about the idea that he had voiced concerns about his own mental health, right? Had been committed, according to language in a police bulletin, to a mental health facility for weeks. How could someone that fits that profile still be in possession of semi-automatic weapons?
Well, I do think that the statutes around firearms and the possession of those are pretty complex. I know that we will be reviewing that information as we move forward, but that's not an answer that we're prepared to give today. But that leads to motive. You're talking about behavioral health issues and how that impacts this situation. I would expect you'll hear back from us on that in the future. Right here.
Yeah, I've got a question about it. We've seen helicopters as far north as on the. Can you tell us anything about what's leading you that far north of the scene where you're coming from?
Yeah, sure. So we have law enforcement assets that are deployed over a number of communities doing follow-ups on a number of different things. So as you can imagine, there's a great deal of search warrants that we're following up on. We do have partners, that helicopters from the New Hampshire State Police. That copter was here last night to assist us as well. So whether we have tactical elements out or we're searching an area, some of those air assets would be very, very valuable for us. So that's what they're doing.
That's leading you there?
We're not going to speak to what brings us to a specific community one way or the other. Yes,
So
right here.
identifying the unidentified victims, what are people encouraged to do? Is there DNA being tested from family members who may have missing loved ones? Like, what is that? What's that approved right now?
Yeah, so we did have a family reunification center open last night. We do have behavioral health liaisons that are fully engaged to work with families and work with loved ones and work with victims, for that matter, that may be in the hospital and seeking treatment. So those things are actively occurring. We are dealing with each one of those situations separately. So do we need DNA on that? Are we just waiting to find a loved one, some kind of family member that we can make a notification? I think that varies across the board. I'm going to take two more questions. I'm going to take two more. Right here.
Yes, so there's some sort of triggering event. Is that something that you're investigating?
I think we're always concerned around motive. That you say triggering event, that's a motive for us. Again, that's not something we're prepared to discuss today, but I do appreciate the question. It's clearly something that's important. One additional follow-up from you.
Can you help us understand why these locations, why this bar, why this bowling alley? Was he looking for someone? Was he looking for something?
I think that does speak to motive, so I appreciate the follow-up, but not something we're going to be prepared to answer today. I have one more question. Right here, sir. Right here.
Can you say, is Card, first off, to clarify, were the arrest warrants issued today? And can you say if Card is still in the stage or he's still alive?
Well, we're actively searching for him. If I knew the answers to those questions, this would be a different press conference, I would assume. So we don't know his location, and I'll leave it at that. And we are working with the Attorney General's office. So with that in mind, we're done taking questions for now. So we are going to actually take off at this point. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it.
Have there been any credible sightings? I mean, we've not really gotten many answers. So
Thank you.
All right, you've just been listening to a news conference out of Lewiston, Maine. They're giving some updates about what happened last night. Still so many unanswered questions, though. But you can find the very latest right now on our website, foxbaltimore.com. Well, topping local news concerning video posted online appears to show Baltimore County Police punching a person while they were resisting arrest. Let's take a look.
Oh yeah, my man! Oh yeah, you going to jail, son. Chill, 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 Stop.
The incident happened near Woodlawn High School just after 8 yesterday morning, before then going viral by the afternoon. The video goes on for more than a minute. Officers eventually bring that teen to the ground and put him in handcuffs. Baltimore County Police tell us that they're currently investigating the video and what may have led up to it. In the meantime, the teen's father spoke with Fox 45. Shannon Lilly has the story you're seeing first on Fox.
Baltimore County Police confirmed to us they are not only aware of this incident, but they are now reviewing it, as they do with all use of force incidents. Meanwhile, the dad of that teen is looking for some kind of accountability. All of this happening not far from where we are. Just behind me here is Woodlawn High School, and that dad tells us that his 16-year-old son and friends were on their way to school here. He says there was a fender bender with a Baltimore County police officer's vehicle in the boy's friend's car, and his son started documenting the incident with his cell phone camera, taking pictures. Well, that's when this dad says another officer, quote, aggressively approached the boy. Words were exchanged and the confrontation quickly turned physical. All of it caught here on video. The father calling what happened an act of excessive force.
I'm still upset right now because here's why I'm upset. You never told me why my son was charged. You never told me what the reason he was charged for, what he did. He's 5'7½". He weighs about 120 pounds, soaking wet. Now, my question is 16-year-old boy, you got him in a headlock. There's another officer holding him from behind, but you're punching him in the head. You're trying to rip his face off. You got your fingers in his eyes. What happened to pepper sprays? Pepper spray the kid if you think he's that aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Do something other than what you're doing right now. Why I'm talking to you right now? Because this could happen to another kid. This could happen to another black kid, just doing the same thing, taking a video, minding his business, and mounting off to the police office. When I talked to Mike, he said, I want him to get fired. I don't want to go that far. The guy has a job, he has a life, he has a family. I want him to get reprimand, some kind of sensitivity training.
Now, that father also tells us that he has an appointment with an attorney this morning. Meanwhile, Baltimore County Police are not releasing many details about this incident, but they do confirm to us that that teen is facing several charges, including second-degree assault and disorderly conduct. Reporting from Woodlawn High School, I'm Shannon Lilly, Fox 45 News, Midday.
The Baltimore County Police Union responding to the incident. In a statement, it reads, the group recording was trespassing and police ordered them to leave. The group refused, and the suspect in the video threatened to attack an officer. The statement goes on to read, quote, we expect our community to comply with lawful orders given by our police officers. This type of lawlessness is out of control. The law-abiding citizens of Baltimore County have had enough. You can find the full statement on our website, foxbaltimore.com. We will continue to follow this story out of Baltimore County and, of course, the mass shootings in Maine. You can stay up to date on both by downloading the Fox 45 News app. Search WBFF in your app store. Developing right now, a solemn procession for fallen Baltimore City Fire Lieutenant Dylan Ronaldo. The Baltimore City Fire Department escorting his body from the state medical examiner's office. Chopper video showing the procession from the air. You can see dozens of cars following as his body was moved from downtown to the Doodle Rock Funeral Home of Dundalk. Ronaldo died at the hospital Tuesday after being injured in that fire 1 week ago today. Details about his service are expected to come in the following days. Now, he is the second Baltimore City firefighter to pass away following last week's row home fire in Northwest Baltimore. Mayor Brandon Scott sharing his sympathies.
This is a reminder of why folks have to be thankful to women and men who choose that line of work, because they are literally putting their lives at risk for everyone else every single day.
Now, news of Ronaldo's death came on the same day that the department began saying goodbye to EMT firefighter Rodney Pitts III. He was the other firefighter killed in that Northwest Baltimore fire. His viewing will continue this afternoon at 2. His funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow at 10. A lawmaker pulls a fire alarm in a congressional building when there was no fire. Was it an innocent mistake or something more? The accusations he's facing from the other side of the aisle and how he's responding ahead of his arraignment today. And for the first time in 3 weeks, the House has a speaker. Coming up, how Republicans finally united in a vote and the concerns Democrats are expressing about the pick. 11:14 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:16, making headlines. Newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson of Louisiana says he wants to get the House right to business. All 220 Republicans voted for Johnson, who is now promising an aggressive schedule for lawmakers in the weeks ahead. Congress is working to pass a federal spending bill, as well as constructing aid packages for Israel and Ukraine. Maryland Congressman Andy Harris shares why he backed Johnson.
Well, I think the House made an excellent choice. I think Mike Johnson's going to be an exceptional leader for the country. It's a difficult time in our country. It's a difficult time in the world. And I think he has all the leadership qualities that are going to be necessary to lead the House of Representatives in these difficult times.
All 209 House Democrats voted for Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. They're questioning Johnson's voting record on gay rights, abortion, and the 2020 election.
House Republicans have put their names behind someone who has been called the most important architect of the Electoral College objections.
Johnson says he promises to work with Democrats despite differences. Congressman Jamal Bowman is being arraigned today on a misdemeanor charge after pulling a fire alarm in a congressional building. The New York Democrat set off the alarm September 30th in the Cannon office building. It happened just moments before Republican lawmakers kicked off a vote on a spending measure to keep the government open. Republicans accused him of trying to sabotage the vote. Bowman hasn't publicly responded to the charge. He did say this, though, after the incident.
I was in a rush to get to my vote, and I tried the door, it didn't work, so I pulled the alarm thinking it would open. That didn't work, so I went downstairs. It was a dumb choice, but, you know, it is what it is. I take full responsibility for it, and now trying to move on, just do my job.
Bowman faces up to 6 months in jail. 11:18 and now to today's talking point. Scholastic is reversing a decision to separate books about race and gender at school book fairs. The company announced the reversal following fierce backlash. Critics blasted Scholastic, arguing the company was accommodating censorship. In the letter, the company's president apologized for causing pain and promised to regain trust. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. And Mark, they were saying, you know, there's a lot of book bans going on and that kind of thing. They were trying to make it easier for teachers and principals to see which of those books were in question and maybe needed to be looked at. But is that their role?
Right. I mean, it's interesting, and it's complex. I mean, the fact that you have to, like you said, just kind of identify the books is interesting, but then at the same time, you know, I guess, you know, because politically, I guess that's what happens. You almost have to, you know, put things in these bins to regulate, which is sad. You know, it's because it's sad. I mean, I'm the author of 3 children's books, you know, and, you know, the fact that, you know, they're kids, you know.
So, if your book was a questionable book, would you want it highlighted as such, or would you look at it as someone is already making a decision about my book and putting it in the questionable bin?
Like you said, my book is about my dogs and little kids and stuff. I happen to be African American, so does it get put into the African American thing, or it's just a book? That has nothing to do with the book itself. I just happen to be African American, so. You know what I mean? I get it. I get the frustration because it really shouldn't have to be that way, you know?
Well, they're backpedaling now, so.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, Mark, thank you.
Definitely.
It is time now for some wild and wonderful weather with meteorologist Jasmine Lomax. Jasmine.
Taking a look at, we are at 69 with mostly cloudy skies, and around the state temperatures are starting to heat up. We are in for another nice and warm day. We've been enjoying a very warm, almost summer-like pattern, and that's going to continue into the weekend. But the same system that's leading to those showers in parts of Texas could bring some showers to our area as well. So notice as we head into the next few hours, we are looking at rising temperatures, the upper 70s and the low 80s. We'll have plenty of sunshine. A few more clouds start to move in later into the day, but if you plan on going to a pumpkin patch or apple picking, just spending time outside, it looks great all day long. As we continue around the region, it's nice and dry here thanks to high pressure. There could be a few stray stray showers, though, ahead of a cold front, and that could impact your drive tomorrow. So notice this afternoon, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Then as we continue into the day tomorrow, starting off mostly dry, but then there's the chance later in the morning for a few stray showers. After that, back to dry weather for the afternoon, and we'll stay mostly dry into Saturday. That looks like another great day for getting outside, but next week those rain chances begin to increase. 81 for the high temperature this afternoon. Then as we continue into the day tomorrow, 83, and we could be looking at broken or tied records today and tomorrow. 83 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday. We have the chance for a few showers on Monday as our next weather maker arrives. Behind that, much cooler for Halloween. 57 for the high. Lows will drop to the 30s and 40s. After that, we'll stay below average in the 50s and 60s. Back to you.
Well, still ahead, a photographer trying to get beauty shots of the changing leaves gets a surprise himself. The proposal that he captured and how he is now working to find the happy couple. But first, Apple is set to announce new products, but it's also raising prices. The new higher price you'll have to pay for AirPods. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News Midday. $11.25. Don't miss this. T-Mobile is reversing plans to charge some customers more. It recently planned a test program that would have forced some customers into more expensive wireless plans. But a flood of customer feedback has apparently prompted the company to hold off on that change. Apple is raising some subscription prices. Apple TV is going from $6.99 a month to $9.99 a month. And if you pay annually, it will jump from $69 to $99. The bundled package known as Apple One is also getting more expensive. So are Apple Arcade and Apple News Plus. Speaking of Apple, according to Bloomberg, the tech giant will release new versions of several AirPod models next year. The new headphones are rumored to be getting a new USB-C charging port and new colors. Beyoncé reveals the name of her highly anticipated perfume, and it is happening just in time for the holidays. A new fragrance called Chez Noir. Oh, right. The perfume, which comes in a mirrored bottle, was developed in France and is said to have a floral scent. This is the launch of Beyoncé's second perfume, which goes for $60 for a 1.7-ounce bottle. Time now for your lunch break. A photographer who was using a drone to snap some pictures of the fall foliage gets more than he bargained for.
Two people standing, and then the guy was going down on his knee to propose. A moment which the couple probably cherish.
At that exact moment, he was able to capture a couple's proposal. The photographer insists he didn't coordinate the drone video with the couple, but says the timing is perfect, and he is now trying to find them so he can share the footage. That's beautiful. That's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle. Up next, Mark Clark is back.
That's right, Patrice. We got a great show lined up for Be More Lifestyle. Hang around. You'll be surprised.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
Hey, what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lily Santiago from the Netflix show Surviving Paradise is here with us, along with media personality Ulysses Stretch Garrett. Okay, and meteorologist Jazz Lomax. What's going on, family? How we doing?
What's up, Mark?
Good.
Well, let me tell you right now, it's not even Halloween yet, but some are already thinking about Christmas. To budget for the holidays, consumers say they're planning to spend an average of $875 to celebrate this year. The National Retail Federation says that that's $42 more than last year, and includes buying things like gifts, decorations, and food. Lelise, you got the biggest check here on the panel, so is this about what we're looking at, $875?
I'm gonna be honest, in a black household, we're gonna pull out the same tree and we're gonna use the same decorations for about 4 years and probably leave it up until let me say like March. So for me, I'm using the same decorations.
So Stretch, what about you? You know, single, well-paid author and influencer.
Man, I spend about $800 on cigars a month. So
I told you.
Hey,
I told you.
I'm just, but that's
Must be nice.
$42 more. So that means that the economy is working. So people out there making some money.
Is it working?
Maybe.
Is it?
Is it? I don't
Jazz, high-paid meteorologist, single.
I mean,
is that around the numbers? $870, $900? Is that about right?
I think it's about right. Might be a little higher for some, for me, but yeah, it's around that.
I know the secret that people don't know is, I really just buy a gift for Allison, my wife. That's about it.
Yes.
Then the kids get taken care of by Santa Claus. We want you to tell it. Have you started your holiday shopping yet? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the lifestyle tab. You can also vote on our Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. Now, another exciting night on The Masked Singer with another big unmasking. If you haven't seen it, this is your spoiler alert. Check it out. Hawk was none other than beloved TV star and teen heartthrob Tyler Posey. The Teen Wolf star performed every little thing she does with magic by the police, but it wasn't enough to keep him safe from elimination. Lilise, this is interesting. This show, again, you perform, you could do a great job, but you still get booted off. Were you surprised it was him, and are you a fan?
I was so surprised, and I'm actually a fan of that show. Honestly, the biggest part for me, I feel like, is these people are actually like singing and performing in these like big, heavy outfits. Like the amount of work that goes into that is impeccable. I got to give my heart to them because I would probably pass out.
The 6'6" phenomenon, could you do it?
Of course I could do it, man. But let me just say, only Teen Wolf I recognize is Michael J. Fox. but that's a great concept. I mean, doing the Masked Singer, because I've watched it throughout the years, you just never know. And then you think, you're trying to listen to see if you can catch the voice, to see if it matches with the speaking voice. But a lot of times they're always off, man.
And it doesn't seem like if you can sing, it matters now. So that even changes it up. Are you a fan, Jasmine? Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Okay,
I
great.
watched that.
Well, there we go.
Wolf. I love Tyler Posey.
See, there we go. See, you got the old man and you got the youth. It's amazing. The world is facing a loneliness problem. According to a new survey, nearly 25% of adults say they're feeling lonely. The rates are highest in young adults. The survey found 27% of respondents aged 19 to 29 reportedly feeling very or fairly lonely. To combat loneliness, experts recommend talking to as many people as possible as you go about your day. I remember when I was a young person, Lilise, and I remember that's when in my 20s, you're out there, I was going on dates and stuff. I think that's the first time I did feel a little pang of loneliness. But Lilise, what about you? You're one of those people in that age group.
I'm gonna be honest, like it's all about having standards. So, like sometimes you would feel lonely if you have standards, like you don't want to be just with anybody. So I would rather be lonely than to be with somebody who doesn't meet my standards.
There we go. Well, Stretch is single. Stretch, what about you? Do you feel, are you surprised by the numbers? 1 in 4.
1 in 4, no, I'm not surprised. I mean, you think about it, as you get older too, when you're not in a relationship or married or whatever the case may be, that bout of loneliness starts to hit you a little bit more and more. Trust me, I know, Mark.
Wait a minute, ladies. You hear him. Jazz?
I mean, I'm not surprised either, especially with the pandemic. I think that brought out a lot of loneliness in people, and even after the pandemic, still continues.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think social media doesn't really help because it's kind of like you see people. A lot of times, people are showing, "Hey, look at us,"
right?
And I think I could see how you get drawn into it, even if you don't even mean to.
Right.
You'll be like, "Oh, I wish I was on a beach." So and so on a boat and having this kind of. I wish my house looked like that.
Right.
I wish. So anyway.
It got to the point where I thought I needed a dog.
Yes, dogs are necessary.
Dogs are necessary.
Yeah.
And look, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of us, so one of us is lonely. At least continued success. Thanks for joining us. Give it up for our superstar, guys. And also, Stretch, you're a superstar too, man, okay?
Thank you, Mark.
And of course, the lovely Jasmine. We'll see you later in the show. Still ahead, as we age, our health needs to change. Coming up, how a new healthcare center is catering to seniors. But first, kick the clutter to the curb. That's right. Coming up, a new way to keep your keys organized while also protecting them from getting lost. Great show coming up. Stick around.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
Genevieve Gorder from America Steals and Deals is here to share details about a popular product that will organize your keys and keep them from getting lost as well. Here's Genevieve to explain how it works.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
You guys, what are two things you lose the most? It's your keys and it's your phone. And it's so frustrating. I know this because I spend hours every day looking for these items. So listen up. You don't want to miss this buy one, get one exclusive deal on the Key Smart Pro. Now, the Key Smart Pro organizes up to 14 keys in one little device. Literally every guy on the set has one in his pocket right now. And as we were setting up this display, people were actually trying to take them. So my advice is buy this now for everyone you love because they're not gonna last. It takes all those keys in the drawer, the bottom of your purse, and puts them right into one little thing, and it connects to a free app. So if you lose your keys, you press the button on the app. You lose your phone, you press the button on the keychain. Even if your phone is on silent, you can find it. It's a win-win. They find each other, guys. You know how many hours this saves us? For me, like probably 6 hours a day. I bet you have someone in your life that needs one of these. My family literally impersonates me by putting on a pair of sunglasses and saying, "Where's my phone? Where's my keys?" And now with this buy one, get one free deal, it's a perfect time to get one for you, someone you love, in all of these great colors. Remember, this is a buy one, get one free. Do not wait. Go to asadeals.com.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Sage Health.
Sage Health is a new primary care provider for seniors, and they're opening 2 locations in the Baltimore area. Joining us now is Area Sales Manager Jesse Sandel and Market Medical Director Dr. Michael Jablanover. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Doing very good. Thanks very much.
Thanks for joining us. So, what is Sage Health?
Yeah, so Sage Health is a full-body healthcare and wellness center catering to the Medicare Advantage demographic. So we specialize in high-performance concierge service without the typical fees associated with that service. We have 2 centers in Baltimore County and 1 center in Baltimore City. I think what sets us apart is we are really bringing back the doctor and patient relationship that a lot of our seniors really recognize, they remember, and honestly deserve.
Why should seniors choose Sage Health?
And I'll tell you, I think there's some unique attributes of this model that are really very exciting. As Jesse said, we're really trying to return to the traditional model of primary care, where an internal medicine physician, a family physician, or a nurse practitioner really has the time to sit down with the patient, go through their problems really comprehensively. We also have a team of professionals, medical assistant, nurse practitioner, care coordinator, licensed clinical social worker, nutritionist, and cardiologist, who all work together as a team to integrate that care and focus really, again, comprehensively on the patient. We're also very focused on preventive care, particularly important in our senior population. We have a number of different screening tools that we use to identify small problems before they potentially become big problems. And lastly, I would say, we're very holistic in our approach. We focus, of course, on the medical problems that a patient walks in with, perhaps diabetes, heart disease, but we also look at their emotional health, their mental health, their social health, and even their environmental health. So we look at the totality of the patient, and that way we can develop a care plan for them that we think enhances their outcomes from a health perspective, but also enhances their quality of life down the road.
And so tell us about the facility. Tell us about the facility.
Absolutely. So our facilities are completely state-of-the-art. So we have 15 exam rooms. We have a bariatric room. We have 4 nurse stations, 4 treatment rooms. We have a phlebotomy suite, so we're actually able to facilitate labs on site. As I mentioned before, there's also a huge wellness aspect to what we provide as well. So each center has a multi-purpose activity room.
Where can people get more information, and where can they sign up?
Absolutely. So people can go to sage.health. That is our website, and you can come into one of our 3 centers here in the Baltimore region. Wow. Again, we have one in Woodlawn, Maryland. We have a center in Howthorpe, Maryland, and then we have a Baltimore City location off of East 33rd Street in the Waverly neighborhood.
Guys, great information. Again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. Still ahead, it's a critical part of the holiday shopping season, making sure your packages arrive on time. Coming up, we'll look at the prep work that's already underway to make sure things run smoothly. But first, just in time for Halloween, see where your pumpkins are grown. How you can enjoy a hayride and get involved with farming coming up next.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
We love giving children the same experiences we had growing up on farms, and so I opened this in 2016 to give them opportunities to get closer with their animals, to go on educational hay rides, and become more involved and in touch with farming.
Well, when the public's allowed to come out onto farms and experience agriculture and see how their food is grown, and more importantly, who is growing their food, according to a survey, farming and agriculture is one of the #1 most trusted professions, and I think opportunities like this really help increase that trust that consumers have with the farmer.
We work with children that are ages 4 and up, and so to be able to connect with them and their families allows those different generations to become more involved in what we do and understand agriculture from a different perspective. We thoroughly enjoy giving those opportunities to children because they get to meet a farmer one-on-one and understand kind of what the business is all about.
Well, Maryland Farm Bureau wants to see agriculture remain viable as the state's #1 commercial industry. We hope that we can sustain that into the future. And when farms and agritourism operations like the farmyard are profitable, it also has a trickle effect in the local economy. For example, today there's a veterinarian here. It helps keep allied businesses also profitable and successful. So when operations like this are successful, it's a benefit to the whole community.
Peak agritourism season means that we are going to be running full blast all fall long, and it's one of our favorite seasons because it keeps us going. It also helps us thrive off of the energy that all of these families are bringing to our farms. And so we enjoy opening the doors to those people so that they can get a hands-on with all of the agriculture that we have to offer.
Maryland Farm Bureau specifically works through our grassroots policy development process, so our more than 9,000 members across the state help develop and advance policy that's friendly to agriculture so that the consumers and public can enjoy opportunities like this throughout the fall on agritourism operations.
We have different programs here depending on what people are interested in. We have a riding program where they can groom horses, learn how to ride, and then kind of expand their knowledge about horses in general. We also have a chore chart program where children come and feed and take care of the animals here, and it seems to be something that really gets them interested at a young age, and then they can expand into something like our livestock program where we're letting families come and get hands-on with some of these larger animals. We also have just a general open to the public activity, so we do hay rides on the weekends, we also do bunny encounters, and then we also have some grooming classes and pony rides out there too.
The Maryland Farm Bureau website is www.marylandfb.org.
We're located in Parkton, Maryland, right off of exit 36 on 83. We're open Wednesday through Saturday and Sunday, so the weekends are the most popular time to come, but you can also come during the week, Wednesday through Friday. www.thefarmyardllc.farm is our website.
And now it's time for the best weather in America with meteorologist Jasmine Lomax.
Thanks, Mark. We are taking a look at some very, very cold pictures coming in from Montana. Notice snow in the background, a ton of snow there. Some areas saw 5 to 6 inches of that snow. Now the photos, absolutely stunning. Some concern for the roadways, but very different from the warm temperatures and the sunshine that we're going to have here today. Quite the contrast between the snow there and the sunshine and the nice and warm, almost summer-like temperatures on the way for the afternoon. Currently, right now, we sit at 69 over Baltimore with mostly cloudy skies around the rest of the state. 60s and the 70s. Cambridge and Salisbury, two of the high spots on the map. 73 with plenty of sunshine along parts of the eastern shore. As we continue into the afternoon, temperatures will reach the low 70s, but later on, upper 70s and low 80s. So if you're going to a pumpkin patch or maybe apple picking, just anything outside, it looks great with lots of sunshine and those nice and warm temperatures. We'll have high pressure keeping us dry. There are a few showers to our west, and overnight into tomorrow, the chance for an isolated shower. We'll stay nice and dry today, though. We could see a few stray showers starting off in the morning and then a little bit later on closer to lunchtime, but these all clear out by about 2-3 o'clock. We'll return to nice and dry weather, and it looks great for your Friday. It also looks nice on Saturday. We're talking another day with very warm, above average temperatures. 81 for the high this afternoon, and we could tie or even break a record high of 81, set back in the 70s. And then for Friday, another warm day. Temperatures reach 83, potentially breaking a record again. 83 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday, 71 with a chance for showers on Monday. Cooler for Halloween, and we stay below average after that. Back to you.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Motive.
The holidays are right around the corner, which means it's peak season for businesses, excuse me, that rely on the transportation of goods and services in order to make money. They ensure our gifts are delivered, grocery shelves are stocked, homes are warm, and roads are safe. Head of Financial Products of Motive, Hemant Benavar, joins us now to discuss how to unlock efficient gains and increase savings as these businesses gear up for their busiest time of the year. Hemant, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Mark, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on your show.
Definitely. So as the holidays approach, what consideration do businesses have to deal with for this?
Yeah, there is a lot going on in the industry right now, and the cost of doing business has gone up. And what I would say is the single most important thing that companies can be doing right now to optimize their spend and save more is bringing their fleet and spend management into a centralized solution. And why is that important, right? Like, what does that do? It allows them to have a 360-degree view of all of their spend across their fleet in one place. No more guesswork, no more hours spent trying to figure out what's happening. It also gives them advanced and customized controls to decide how, when, and where their spend goes, and they can enforce that really well. And lastly, like, by taking away a lot of the guesswork and the amount of time they spend, they actually can unlock a lot of productivity gains as well. This is exactly what the Motive platform does today. We have built an integrated offering where we can enable our customers to have a single pane of glass and get more insights and hence save more.
And what about discounts? How can businesses mitigate costs and save more?
Absolutely. Discounts is, fuel is the largest expense or the second largest expense that companies in this industry have, right? So fuel discounts becomes a big focus. What we have done at Motive is we have built out an extensive fuel network. We have over 12,000 locations across the nation where we have discounts, and our top tier locations have discounts averaging over 20 cents a gallon. And however, what I would say is discounts is not the only thing that they should be thinking about. They should be thinking more than discounts, considering all kinds of customized spend controls that can help them reduce fraud and wasteful spend. They should be thinking about, again, bringing all of that data together in one place to increase productivity. And when we look at customers who are doing this well, what we're seeing is they're able to save more. Like through discounts, they can unlock about 5%. Through fraud and wasteful, reduction of fraud and wasteful spend, they're seeing an additional 5%. And then through the productivity gains, they're saving even more, almost on an average, like up to 7% through the productivity gains.
As we wrap things up, talk to us about fraud. You mentioned fraud, and then also where can we get more information?
Absolutely, yeah. Look, fraud is a major topic because it's almost invisible. But what we have seen is fraud actually can be up to 5% of fuel spend gone into fraud. That's where you need AI technology and automation, which can help you detect and prevent fraud from happening. And that's exactly what we are doing on the platform today. If you want to learn more, please go check out gomotive.com/motive-card, and you have a lot of resources that you can dig into there.
Thanks for joining us with this powerful information, okay?
Thank you, Mark.
Definitely. Take care. Now, we want you to tell it, are you holiday shopping already? Well, the results come up next.